We'll also talk about weightlifting in Nigeria. I'm sure if you're a follower of sports right here channels, TV Sports Center, we'll be talking about weightlifting and again, how to develop weightlifting in Nigeria. The World Championships concluded. I was speaking to Cecilia and the guys and said, we keep getting highlights, none from Nigeria. We cannot find the questions, the answers to these questions. So let's go. We're being joined now by the Technical Director of the Nigeria Weightlifting Federation, Lawrence Ikwaibom. Good morning, Lawrence, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Austin.
Okay, fantastic. Good to have you join us on the show. I'm here with my colleagues Cecilia Omorogbe and Tayo Salam. We're talking about the just concluded World Weightlifting Championships that took place in the United States of America, Houston, to be precise. Talk to us about Team Nigeria's performance.
I would say that the Nigeria was represented by two female athletes. And it's a good thing that the nation decided to expose these two athletes because the competition served as an eye-opener for both of them. Because for a long time now, they have not been exposed to such level of competition. And the athletes performed not badly. We had one in the 63 category, that is Tony Adesame, that finished 11. And we have another athlete in the plus 75 category, that's Mariam Usman. Unfortunately, Mariam Usman performed below expectation because it happened that while in camp, she sustained a wrist injury. And that contributed to her low performance because the injury did not allow her to put in her best during the training and at the competition in Houston.
Okay, I mean, why did we have to actually use just two athletes for this competition? Why two athletes going to the USA? Hello?
Hello, Lawrence. Okay. Hello, Lawrence. Okay, so
I think we can reach him because he really needs to explain the reason why two athletes, because he says it's an eye-opener for these two athletes. Come on, I mean,
experienced weightlifters in their own rights. Mariam Usman has been awesome for this country with weightlifting. Toya Adesami also. Where are the male weightlifters?
Exactly, I was going to come to that.
Not for him to
What
answer.
are we even doing with developing new talents that will go out there and get exposed to what it's like?
There's something as beautiful as when you go for a tournament, you're hearing another name. I expected to hear that from him. I mean, you can have like 3, 4. I know most federations these days wouldn't want to go there for jamboree, but come on, you talked about experience. If you don't give chances to these young lifters, how do we get to produce another Mariam? That's a big question. So Mariam, it will come to a time where she'll definitely have to retire. So you definitely need someone to step quickly into her shoes. We don't even have, I don't know if you have one, but right now I can't mention any lifters. I can say, okay, are they come at the next the Olympics next year, or even 4 years from now, if you can get someone that can actually replicate what she's been doing in Nigeria. It's difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. Austin, hopefully we can get him back online.
Okay, I think it's back right now.
Back okay, Lawrence. Good to have you back again on the show. I'm sure you've been following our conversation. We're trying to understand, it's the World Weightlifting Championship. Why did we go with just two weightlifters and then female weightlifters?
The fact is that, as I said earlier before our departure, the competition was to serve as an Olympic qualifiers. And you just needed to go with the best of your athletes. And that is why we started the campaign with only 4 athletes, that is 2 males and 2 females. But unfortunately, due to some certain setback, 2 of the the male athletes were not given the opportunity to go out for the competition.
What are those setbacks? What happened? What issues?
Hello?
What happened? What kind of setbacks stopped the male weightlifters from participating?
I think that had to do with maybe from the National Sport Commission, because the program was the National Sport Commission program, and we can just maybe work based on their own directive and funding.
Okay, they couldn't find the fund to actually sponsor 4 athletes for the championship.
Something like that. Something like that.
Okay, and it's supposed to serve as Olympic qualifiers, right? So does that mean we can only produce 2 athletes to represent Nigeria at the Olympics next year? Is that what that meant?
Not really, because apart from the World Championship, there is the continental qualifiers, and that's at the African level, that will be coming up next year. So it will be another opportunity for the country to maybe send in the athletes for to see how far we can go in terms of the number of athletes that we can qualify for the Olympic Games.
Lawrence, that's really not good for the development of...
But for now, I can say specifically that we may only have to present just a male and a female athlete at the Olympics, because we couldn't attend the 2 last World qualifier with a full team of lifters. I'm talking about the last year World Championship that took place in Uzbekistan and that of this year. And for the fact that we did not take part in last year's World Championship, there was no need for us to go to this year's World Championship with a full team, because the point that you gather from last year is to be added to that of this year. And there was no need for us to go to this year's World Championship with a full team, because there's no how we can make enough points to make up, to go above those that took part in last year and that of this year. So our only hope of qualifying now is just the continental qualifier taking place next year.
Okay, obviously the championship for Nigeria was very disappointing. I want to know what lessons have been learned, from participating at the championship in Houston.
What did you say?
What lessons have been learned from participating at the championship?
As I said, it was an eye-opener for the athletes that participated, because from the look of things, after the All-African Games that took place in Brazzaville, most of the athletes went to sleep. They never continued with their training, and when they were called to camp, we just had to start afresh again. And the fact is that we, I should say, in our own side, the Federation and the National Sport Commission, we are not really putting up a well-tailored program for a competition like the World Championships. Because after the All-African Games, the athletes needed to be put together again for them to start preparing well for a high-level competition like the World Championships. It's not a competition that can just be in camp for maybe 3-4 weeks. Then you go to compete against athletes that have been in camp for 6-7 months. And it seems like the Egyptians, they were here in the U.S. 2 weeks before the competition. And for Nigeria, we just went the day before, and some of these athletes, they need to go through the acclimatization, and we did not have enough time to actually acclimatize before the event, coupled with the fact that the competition was not, the preparation was not long enough.
Okay, thank you so much, Lawrence, for speaking to us on the show. And congratulations for being nominated to officiate at the Rio 2016 Olympics.
Thank you so much, Austin. I appreciate it, and I thank God for all the opportunities.
Okay, thank you too.